it's Dar Shay and I'm back with another YouTube video. So I'm gonna tell you guys about my labor and delivery. Oh my gosh. Stay tuned, you're not gonna want to miss this. Okay guys, so you guys saw my vlog. If not, I'll put the card right here, where I was literally in labor telling a story time. So let's pick up from there. So I left the house around like I want to say like 1:30. We went to the hospital near my house. I just wanted to check to see if I was dilated, because the hospital I was giving birth to was like 30 minutes away, and I'm like, bruh. So they checked me and they was like, no, you're not dilated yet, but you're definitely in active labor. Make sure you contact your doctor, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, oh my god. So we go home and the contractions are getting closer and more intense, and I'm like literally in the shower, so close to crying because I was so tired. Like, I wasn't crying for the, well actually I did cry. I came out the shower and I was bouncing on my ball, and I was just crying like, I want to go to sleep, because I was so, at this point I've been up for like almost 3 days. So I'm like, oh my god, I want to go to sleep. Like, there's no way, like in pre-labor, like in those little, in the moment, like those little contractions, it's like, oh, I'm having a contraction. You can sleep, fine, sleep, live your life, go out, party, do whatever you want. But when them junks are, when you're in active labor, you can't do squat, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. And laying down makes it 10 times worse. I don't know why, but laying down makes your contractions, like, if it's like a 5, it makes it a 7. I don't know why. I don't know, but it hurts so bad when you're laying down. So I was just bouncing my ball, crying my eyes out. And then 6 o'clock in the morning, I texted my doctor, and I kept feeling like I had to poop. So I would go to the bathroom and I would sit and I would push and I would push and I would push, and nothing would come out. And I was like, so I text my doctor and I'm like, I gotta poop, but nothing won't come out, and I'm pushing. He's like, oh my god, don't do that. He's like, please come to the hospital. Oh my god, oh Jesus Christ, come to the hospital. So I come to the hospital and I'm like holding my butt, literally holding my ass, because I felt like the poop is gonna just, like, I felt like the poop was at the back door. And it was like, girl, you better let me in or I'm gonna kick this thing down. So I'm just like, all in the lobby of the hallway. They get the wheelchair, they like zoom me to labor and delivery. They check me right away and they're like, you only dilated 1 centimeter. I was like, what is this? Like, why does this take so long? Like, why? It's been 3 days. How is it only 1 centimeter? This is a joke. So they like, okay, well, they start hooking me up to the monitor so they can listen to the baby. They hook me up to the IVs and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, so the doctor wants to induce you, but we have to wait until this doctor gets done doing with this, and then he's gonna be here, blah, 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 like a whole thing. So I'm literally laying in bed experiencing the contractions. Like I just said, the contractions are 10 times worse when you're laying down. So I'm like, now at this point, I'm like just frustrated. My head is hurting. I'm thirsty. I'm tired. And I'm just like going through all, I'm just like, like I feel like somebody is like literally giving me like they're tasing me in my back, like right here in my lower back. That's how I feel. And I'm just like, oh my god. So every time I wanted to get up and walk, they're like, oh, can you lay back down, because we have to monitor the baby. Like, with you're moving like this, it's taking the monitor off of where his heartbeat is. So we need you to sit. I'm like, bitch, I can't sit. The contractions are so painful. I can't sit. I have to move. Where's my ball? Get my ball. I need to bounce. I need to do something. It was like, yeah, no. Even when I went to the bathroom, they were there at the door like, okay, So you're done peeing. We heard the last drop. Wipe and get back in your bed so we can hook you back up to the monitor. But being on the toilet felt so good because your legs are open, your pelvis is like, you know, it's wide. So it felt so good. So when the contractions came, it wasn't as bad because your legs are open. And they suggest your legs to be open, so, you know, your pelvis and everything, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, like, I don't want to get back in that damn bed because it just feels so good, like, being out of the bed, walking around. Like, you can walk through your contractions. It's like, it's still painful, but it's not as bad as being in the bed. Like, the bed, like, no matter, even if I had the bed all the way up, like, I was sitting up just like this in the bed, and that still didn't help. I was like, bro. So at first then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna lay here. I'm going to sit like on the edge of the bed and just like, you know, lean over, lean on my ball, put the ball between my legs. I was doing that, but then leaning on the ball was making the band lift up, so they would come back in the room like, we can't hear the baby. I'm like, I'm about to choke you and this baby. I don't care about that baby. Like, I'm in pain. What about me? So then they was like, oh, your doctor said that we can give you some Demerol. We'll give you some Demerol and that'll help. So I'm thinking they're going to put the Demerol in the drip. No, they put the Demerol in my butt. And that needle was big, okay, sis? And I do not do good with needles. It took them 20 minutes just to put the IV in my hand. Like, I was... Oh, I can see where it was. I was crying my eyes out. Do you hear me? I was like, can y'all just let me die at this point? Like, I just don't even see the point of this. Like, and she's like, this is gonna help with the contractions and it'll make you go to sleep. Well, it honestly didn't help with the contractions. It really just made me sleep. So she's like, okay, roll over. I'm like, roll over where? And then she just pulled out this big ass machete and she's like, oh, I gotta stick this in your butt. Like, is it gonna be a little prick? I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, why? I hate freaking hospitals. Like, why they always trying to give you needles? Like, I'm pretty sure there's other ways to handle this. So I roll over and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So she do it, but this bit did not tell me that that junk was going to burn. So she's like rubbing my butt like, oh, it burns a little. I'm like, that'll burn a little. Damn. What the hell? But I was sleeping for like probably like 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And then I would get up and I would experience a contraction and I'd fall back to sleep. And I would which was good. I needed that sleep. Like, but it really didn't help with the contractions. I still felt them contractions. Even in my sleep, I still felt them junks. But it didn't wake me up. I can still feel them. But, you know, whatever. Can't complain. So around 4:30 or maybe 5 o'clock, they induced me. Baby, when they turned on that drip, okay, immediately that first drop of Pitocin that hit my veins, that contraction went from a 7 to a 11. Okay, and mind you, I'm still in this for God's sake in hospital bed. Okay, I was like, what was that? Like, what was that? Like, it was like I was holding on to the sides of the bed and I had my whole body lifted off the bed. I was like, ah! Like the nurses was just looking at me like, okay, well, we're gonna go. Yeah, good luck with this. We're gonna go. Just went out, closed the door, and I'm just like, they really think this is okay? So from like, oh, let's say 5 o'clock. So the nurse came back in at 5:30 and was like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? I'm like, no, cut this baby out of me. Just take it out. Kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is just too much. Like, what the hell is this? This should be a crime. No one should go through this pain. So I'm like, listen, I know I wanted to do natural birth, but that junk is out the window. Where is the drugs? I can't do this no more. I need all the drugs that y'all got up in here. Where is the doctor? Get the drug doctor on the line. He got to get here stat, okay? Like, now. So she was like, are you sure? Because of your birth plan, you said that you really want to... I said, girl, you better go get that goddamn epidural. I'm not playing with you. I'm not trying to hit no goddamn birth plan right now. Go get the goddamn epidural. He comes around like 6:30, and at this point I am just like flatline. Like, I'm just on that hospital bed. My eyes is just like, Like, I am just flatlined. Do y'all hear me? Dead. Like, so he comes in and he's like, oh, this is what we're gonna do, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, let's get to the show. Like, I'm already in position, let's go. Like, come on, let's get it on. And y'all, like I just said, I hate needles. So for me to be like embracing a needle, and I have seen plenty of epidural videos, I was like, bro, I'd rather push this baby out normal, like natural, than to get the epidural. What the hell is that? But I was, at this point, was willing. I was cheering him on. I was like, sir, you can do this. Let's go. I'm ready. Like, so that is telling you how bad those contractions was on that Pitocin. Because I was just like, come on. Mind you, I cried for a little pinch, okay? For 15 minutes, they had to convince me to get this damn IV, okay? So I'm hunched over like, come on, man, come on, do what you got, come on. And it really didn't hurt, honestly. It was like a little pinch. It really didn't hurt, but I still feel that junk now though. Like, after the fact, I feel it more now than I felt it then. As soon as he let that drip go, I was like, oh, I can't feel my toes. Like, it happened immediately. I was like, wow. Like, I thought it was gonna take some time, but it happened to be like, I felt like I could literally feel it coming from literally my tip of my toes up my legs, and then like my legs got heavy, and then I was like trying to like lay down, and the nurse was like, we're gonna help you. So they pulled me back, and then they lifted my legs up and swung me and laid me down, and then that's when I felt it coming up, and he's like, we're gonna give you more because you're much taller and you can handle it. So girl, I couldn't even feel my nipples. That's how much they gave me. Like, they was like, oh, where does the numbing stop? So he was touching me like, oh, can you feel this? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? And I'm like, yeah. When they got right here, they was like, can you feel this? I was like, no. They was like, oh my God. So they turned it down some, so so from under my boobs down, I couldn't feel nothing. And my left side got it the worst. Like, that thing, they could have cut that thing off and I wouldn't even know. Like, that's how numb it was. Like, my right side, it's like if I touch myself, I can feel it, but that left side, I'm telling you, they could have literally snatched that leg off, and I'd have been like, something happened? What happened? What's going on? Like, I couldn't feel nothing on that side. So the doctor came in, I want to say like around like 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock. He came in, we talked, and he's like, okay, let me check you. And he was like, oh, you're only 3 centimeters. Come on. No, yeah, I was still 3 centimeters because that's when he gave me the epidural. Yeah, I was still only 3 centimeters. So I'm like, oh my God. So he was like, well, we're gonna break your water and all that stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out what time was that when they did that. Was my doula there when they broke my water? I think she was. So that might have been around like 10:30. I can't remember. I can't remember if she was, what time that was. But he broke my water, and then they ended up, because the band wouldn't stay in place, and the baby kept hiding, so they couldn't find his heartbeat. So they ended up putting this long ass pole inside me to monitor his heartbeat. And everybody was like, the doula and my child's father was looking at me like, you don't feel that? I was like, no, like, I don't feel anything, because I was asleep half the time. So all they was telling me like, open your legs. And I was like, go do what you gotta do. So they put that inside of me, and then they broke my water. They put that inside, and then they put the catheter in, which I didn't feel none of that stuff, which was like, oh my God, I felt so good. I was so happy. I was just like, oh my God, I can sleep. Oh my God, I can talk. I'm not in pain, blah, blah, blah. We ended up falling asleep, and then we woke up around like 4 in the morning, like 4:50, 4:40 in the morning. I woke up, and the nurse came in the room, and I asked her like, are you gonna check me and see like if I'm dilated, like if I, got any more dilated? And then she's like, yeah, we're gonna do it at 6 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, cool. But then at the moment she said that, I started feeling my contractions again, and I was like, it's starting to wear off. No. But then I was like, your body is so weird how your body just know what to do. Like, my body, like, I started pushing, and I didn't know that I was pushing, but I was pushing. Like, it's so weird how your body just know. Like, I was actually 10 centimeters dilated, and I was ready to push, and my body, like, I would feel the contract, it was like a vibration, like I would say like that, on my back, and that's how I knew I was having a contraction. And I'll look at the screen and I was like, oh shit, I'm having contraction. And then I will push, like a light push. And then the nurse came and then she was like, oh, let me just go ahead and check you. You're 10 centimeters down, like you don't fully need to push. I said, ma'am, I've been pushing this whole time. And she's like, oh my God. So then she went to go get the doctor and other nurses and stuff like that. And then it was like just, you know, they make you do like pushes before the doctor come. And I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then the nurse just left. And it was just me and my doula doing it. And then my child father came over. He held my other leg and we was just doing it. So then they was like, oh snap. And I was like, what? And he was like, that's the baby head. You're crowning. Stop pushing. And I was like, how can you tell my body to stop pushing? You cannot stop pushing. You can't hold a push. Your body is going to do it because it knows what's happening. It knows that you're trying to push a human out. So your body's going to naturally push even if you want to or not. So I'm like, how the hell? So they walking in and out. They just casually getting stuff together. I was like, y'all. I gotta push the baby head. Where's the doctor? Where is the doctor? They're like, oh, he'll be here soon. So I'm like, oh. So I'm like, y'all, I gotta push. They playing, they gotta push. They're like, no, don't push, don't push. I was like, y'all, I gotta push. I was like, Bianca, my doula, count to 10. Hold them legs up. And I was pushing and pushing. It was like, oh my God, the baby is right there. The baby is right there. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So then finally the doctor came. He was like, grab. And he just ran and just threw stuff on. By the time he got ready, the baby was out. It was like bloop. And then next thing I know, the baby was on my chest and he was like, what? like in 4 pushes, the baby was out. I was like, whoo, good Lord. And I did rip. I got like 7 or 6 stitches. But yeah. What, Bray? I'm talking about you entering the world and you being rude. Thank you, I appreciate that. They put him right on me and I was like, ew. And then everybody's like, how was that? Like, normally like parents, they cried, oh my God, my baby. And I was like, ew, he felt like a hot and ready pizza. I was like, ew, he felt like a little Caesar pizza. Like he was so warm and I was just like, ew. They was like wiping him down and stuff like that. And he finally started crying. And he put his little hand on my face like this. And I was like, oh, hi, baby. Hi. And then they took him away from me to weigh him and stuff like that. He was 6 pounds and 15 ounces. He was born at 6 o'clock. 4 good pushes and his little butt was out. Whoo, y'all. Woo. It was a mess. It's so weird. Like now I can't really remember like all the pain that I was really in. I briefly remember it. All I just remember is this little hot and ready pizza being placed on me and me being like, finally it's over. I can finally see my baby. I can finally just move on with my life. But will I do this again? Hell to the nah. I don't want to do it again. I don't, but I do want a girl. But them contractions, yo, they gotta find a better way. Like, that don't make no sense. Nobody should go through them contractions. I would not put them contractions on my worst enemy. Do you hear me? Oh my God, them contractions. That is my labor and delivery story. It was a mess, but it was good. Guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Hey. Hey. Hey, baby.
Just let it get real hungry now.
Oh my God, Higgies, he's so cute. Him and his one eye. Baby Braylon. Say hi, Grandpa. You're like an old man now. Say hi. I would like to know if I could.